Well, the Oscars are tomorrow, and does anyone care? Here is a song from a film that won Best Picture in 1969. And I'm proud of it. I don't know. Joey might hate it, but I'm proud of
We
this.
like it, but just to answer your question, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Here's the deal. Here's the song, 1969, Midnight Cowboy. This is the ballad of Joe Buck.
Joe Buck left Texas chasing city lights. New York dreams turned darker nights. Hustler's hope became the plight. In the alley shadows lost his fight. Ratso said he'd show the ropes, but he was just another false hope. Two became friends in grander slope. Life's harsh lessons, no chance to cope. Oh, the midnight cowboy walks alone in a city cold as stone. Say a prayer for hearts that roam far from where they call home. In the hustle, Ratso couldn't stay, left behind in life's cruel fray. Joe Buck's tears just washed away. City lights turned shades of gray. Empty pockets, dreams on hold. Chased promises turned to fool's gold. In the harsh wind, nights grow cold. Stories of Joe Buck remains told. Oh, the midnight cowboy walks alone in a city cold as stone. Say a prayer for hearts that roam far from where they call home. Ratso couldn't stay, left behind in life's cruel fray. Joe Buck's tears just washed away. City lights turned shades of gray.
All right. Hey, I wrote a little piece at 4:14. If you scroll up on your Discord, you will see it just before.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You want to read it, or I mean, your reading's a little bit better than mine, even though I kind of wrote it.
Yeah. So, all right. Movies are America's dirty little.
No. Go up further.
Oh, you're talking about. Okay. Oh my God.
It was 4:14.
That's long. All right.
You want to just read a few paragraphs and go into a song?
Yeah, I think so. Why don't you play a song?
All right, I'll play a song and then you can read. What am I doing here? Ooh. Let me play another. Do I have another Oscar song here? Let me do another Oscar song.
Maybe we'll get into some of the players in this year's Oscars or Academy Award, and I don't know.
Well,
let's see about this.
I'm going to play. This is from 1957. This is the Bridge on the River Kwai, and this is the ballad of Colonel Nichols and Colonel Saito. So have a little listen. And this was the 1957 Oscar winner. And this is a little song that I made up.
Colonel Saito in the jungle's heat, he needs that bridge over the river's beat. Colonel Nicholson with a steely mind, Geneva Convention must be signed.
Saito demands and Nicholson fights, honor twisting in the jungle night. For in this war of men and steel, there's a battle of spirit that's all too real.
Train, sweat and tears and blood's disdain. No shame or honor in the silent air, echoes of conflict linger there.
Colonel Saito's rule ironclad, Colonel Nicholson won't be had. In this clash of wills they stand alone, walls of pride are overthrown. Workers toil under the sun's fierce gaze, Colonel Nicholson's eyes a stubborn blaze. Colonel Saito shadows every step, in this game of pride they firmly wept.
Time will tell the tale of these two, a bridge built from sweat and truth. Honor's victory or sheer disgrace, reflected in every workman's face.
Make it stop. That was horrible, and this seems like a lead into another horrible one. That was just the ending of another disaster.
Are we reading what I has written, or do you want to play another song?
So look, tomorrow's the Oscars, Brian.
Yes.
I don't care. I never
Neither
did.
do I. But we can't put them down.
I used to watch half of it when I drink, and it wasn't all garbage back then. I think 9. I don't remember my age when John Wayne died, but I remember cancer getting to him, and everyone acknowledged him. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
And it seemed real. Even if it was movies, it still felt real, more real than it does now.
Yeah.
Hollywood today doesn't hold a candle to that. And I think we've gotten some of the presenters of the awards to try to say that they recognize that nobody gives a shit, but it seemed like Hollywood was more in touch back then.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think they came from poor circumstances. Should I read what I've written, Joey?
That's yeah. Go ahead and
All
give
right.
it the long version. I condensed it, but go ahead.
So tomorrow's the goddamn Oscars, and Joe and I, we ain't excited. Never was. Maybe used to slump in front of the tube, maybe half drunk, maybe half high, maybe with a little sugar in our tank. Not gay, but sugary. And sometimes it was total horseshit. I was 9 when John Wayne, that old bastard, croaked his last public words. 79, cancer was eating him alive. And he stood, and the room stood up, clapping like he punched God in the face. Ballsy, real, now. These pampered Hollywood brats wouldn't piss on Wayne's grave if he was on fire. Sanctimonious pricks, all of them, so full of themselves they can't see the snot dripping off their noses, let alone some poor slob's point of view. They call it the kingdom of the Jews out there, and yeah, plenty of them crawled up from nothing. Gutters, tenements, parents who couldn't spell dollar. Warner Brothers started with a busted shoe store, folding chairs, and a projector that probably flickered like a dying light bulb. Scrapped, borrowed, stole, whatever it took. But back then, they got it. Life was the meat grinder, and you worked your ass off for a nickel. They didn't wag their fingers at the audience, didn't preach. Showed the working stiffs some goddamn empathy. Guys like me hunched over a bar stool, wondering where the next buck was coming from. Now these kids, born with silver spoons so far up their asses, they choke on them. Let's eyeball one flick for Best Picture. Emilia Perez, some Mexican drug lord, gets a sex change, prances around like it's deep. Who greenlit this crap? Sounds like a fever dream from some trust fund hack who's never missed a meal. Here's a news flash. Your revolutionary wannabes, if your belly's full, it ain't a struggle. Real struggles when you're skipping dinners, stomachs growling like a pissed off dog, and you're still swinging. Not a candy ass, full-bellied resistance act. You're soft, and the Oscars are your circle jerk parade. Wayne's ghost is laughing somewhere, and I'm cracking another beer. Joey, any comment? Are you dead?
No comment. Keep going.
It's done.
No, that was as horrible as your songs.
Fuck you. Give me a break. I wrote that script, and it's going to be win an Oscar, hopefully. So, the title, The American Dream in the Oscars. And, Joey, have you ever thought of the American dream? Do you think freedom even exists in this shitty world?
I don't think we're, most people at least are even allowed to quite feel the exhilaration, the unrestrained freedoms that do exist for us. I don't think we can get there in this sort of environment, but I have thought about the American dream a lot. I think we've both kind of grown up in a time that has seen, maybe it was still kind of alive, and maybe even a driver for people our age back in the day, but it was kind of easy to see. Like, I used to say it all the time, that the American dream is dead, and this was a long time ago, and now it's the American revised dream, I guess. I don't know.
Now, these films, by the way, Grok gave them to me in alphabetical order. The first film is with an A. It's Anora. Is that how you spell it, Joey? Anora?
I think it's a snora.
That'll put you to sleep. The Brutalist. It's a 3-hour film, which if you sit through it, you realize this is brutal. A Complete Unknown. I've never heard of this movie.
It's Bob Dylan.
Oh.
And played by Timothy Chalamet, everyone's favorite twink.
Yes. You know, my old man was with our family. We were sitting together. We were watching some kind of Live Aid. And I first realized that Bob Dylan was Jewish. And he was from Texas. And I go, I didn't know there were that many Jews in Texas. And my Jewish uncle chimed in. He goes, yeah, we own the damn place. I don't know if I found it funny, but I don't really. Now, the Conclave. Joey, have you ever heard of the Conclave?
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. What is a conclave anyway?
I know there is a movie, an old movie with, I wonder if it's just a remake of that with Chris Christopherson. Wasn't he in the original Conclave?
I'm not sure. Dune Part 2 I've heard of, I haven't seen. And I've heard it's a good film, by the way, but who knows?
It's okay. Yeah.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I did.
Now, have you seen this one? Emilia Perez. That one is about the drug lord becoming the tranny.
No, I have not seen that. But the general meaning for conclave, by the way, before we totally move on, is it can mean a private or exclusive gathering where important decisions are made, and often secretive. And there's a religious context for it. So this secret meeting where cardinals get elected, or where they elect a new pope, rather. And yeah, so, but yeah, I haven't seen Emilia Perez. It sounds like your kind of movie, though.
You know what? I might just watch it. It's also a musical, and it's a horrible one. Now, there's another film called I'm Still Here. And you and I could have written a story about that because we've been on a Skype call a couple times, and we thought the person had hung up, and we were talking about banging her, double teaming, and she was, I'm still here, and I heard every word you said, and I'm like, oh no, but forgive us. Do you know anything about this movie, Still Here?
No, not a thing. But I did see, I watched the latest episode of Severance last night, and this is unbelievable, but Robbie Benson is in it.
Oh shit. He actually played a Latin gangbanger in was it Walk Hard, or he sang a song,
right?
Yeah, he did. He had a song called Adios yesterday, and he that was his claim to fame. Let's get back to the Oscars. The next one reads like maybe a gay porno, but it's not. It's about racism, and it's called The Nickel Boys.
I thought it was going to be called June's Birthday.
Yes. Have you heard of this film?
No, I have not.
Okay. The next one is called The Substance.
Now, I have seen this, and Demi Moore is incredible. It's just hard to tell other people to go watch it because it's such a weird fucking movie, but it's really good. And she's tremendous in it. She's so good. But yeah.
You know what? I'll watch just to see her if she wins the Oscar. That'll be the only thing I'll watch on that. Okay. And the last one, Wicked. I've heard is not that bad, but I can't stand the woman, and I don't know her name. And I heard she does a good role, but she's a typical first world revolutionary who's never had a she doesn't look like she's gone a day without missing a meal. And she plays the struggle, the phony, struggle resistance person. And her interviews have disgusted me so much that I will not look at a film where I see phony, baloney struggle queens and kings. Your bellies are filled with food. You're not struggling. You're a fake. You're a phony. Joey, do you have anything to add?
Fake fatty.
Fake, and I'm a fatty. Look, I'm a fatty myself. It takes one to know one. And I think I'm going to play another song here, Joey, and then we'll come back and maybe wrap it up. Maybe we'll go a little bit longer, depending on how things go. This one is called The Ballad of Antoine Shakur. This is from No Country for Old Men, also won Best Picture. Here we go.
In the dusty streets of Texas, where the shadows fall like lead, walks a man, a ghostly figure, with a path of bloodstains spread. He's a judge, a cold redeemer, with a coin to fate declare. Heads or tails, your life is dangling. He's got deathless eyes to stare. Anton roams the barren highways, silence trailing in his wake. With a moral code like steel, no pity for the lives he'll take. In his hand, a cattle gun, justice served without regard. In his eyes, the world's a balance, life and death cut hard. Oh, Anton, where's your mercy? In the West, it's hard to find. With a heart as black as midnight and no solace in his mind. You can't bargain with his judgment as he walks the road so grim. In a land not made for old men, every shadow's growing dim. At a motel by the highway, fate collided in the night with a man who held a suitcase filled with cash and trembling fright. Anton gave no room for error. There's no mercy for the weak. Every coin toss shows his terror. Every word he doesn't speak. Oh, Anton, where's your mercy? In the West, it's hard to find. With a heart as black as midnight and no solace in his mind. You can't bargain with his judgment as he walks the road so grim. In a land not made for old men, every shadow's growing dim. In the lawman's weary eyes, the chase was but a futile cause. For he knew the world was changing, ruled by men with fangs and claws. Anton carried out his sentence in a land where laws decay. In the end, we all are judged when fate decides to call.
Brian, do you ever think about the American dream?
Not anymore.
This list. I'm looking at this list, and it's like a mirror that's reflecting success and power and reinvention and all that. What do you think?
I think of conquest and resistance. Conquest is part of nature, and so is resistance. And human conquest is unique in nature because it uses all kinds of methods to gain the upper hand. And today, a lot of times, conquest is done both through, the wolves with sheep's clothing. It's done with empathy and cunning, but it's done really and truly. The people who are asking, they're not asking for empathy, they're demanding it. And the wolves in sheep's clothing are no longer in sheep's clothing. These are wolves. These are empathy. I almost call them empathy wolves because their teeth are snarling. And the minute you go against them, they have their teeth and they will bite you. They have conquered, basically.
You might like The Apprentice and Conclave. Those both have to deal with cutthroat issues, dealing with power.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any movies about the power dynamics today and the power dynamics that are in play by sanctimonious, egocentric people who I think in a lot of ways have a spoiled brat. I'm on the top of the hill now. Either I'm on the top of the hill now or I was born on the top of the hill, and my beliefs and my ways and nothing you can do about it. And again, perhaps in this case, because more often times than not, the iron fist turns to the beggar's hand, and the progressives who control Hollywood and they control a lot of the internet have ruled with an iron fist, and resistance has come. And the iron fist could very well turn into the beggar's hand. You never know. But retribution is ingrained in nature. When you do something wrong to me, to protect myself, I want to harm those who either wish to harm or harm me. And there's a lot of games being played right now to those who wish to do harm, and they are acting like the victim when they are the victimizers. And it's a lot of double talk and bullshit. And hopefully,
AI is going to take out a bunch of podcasters who are grifters and power mongers and all the like. So maybe there's some silver lining to it all.
Yes. And then Wilford Brimley's rabbit said 3M, I think if you 3M thinks about Diet Coke, diabetes, dude, shit. And how can you make Meyer Taylor's
Taylor Swift's AI songs?
Go to hell, dude. Jesus Christ. He's just here to put us down. He's like our only listener. Like, he must be a lonely dude.
Yeah, we have one listener and we're getting railed on.
Yeah. No one's coming out to say anything nice. Maybe he scared them all off. So I think.
So are you going to watch it or not?
I might watch it so we can comment on it. Maybe.
I have nothing better to do.
You know what? I'm going to play one more song and then maybe we'll call it. We'll wrap it up.
All right, let's see.
This one is called Spartacus. It was nominated. It did not win. Stanley Kubrick and Michael Mann directed, and I really enjoyed it, and I was inspired by by the one of the last scenes in the movie where the mother of Spartacus' child sees him on the cross. So this is a scene. Joey's going to hate it, and he may put himself on a cross.
I already hate it. Play it.
The sun sets across the battlefield. A mother's cry, the pain revealed. Spartacus hangs strong, no defeat. In her heart, his legacies beat. Spartacus, this is your son. He's free as the day begun. Our child will speak your name so clear, and I'll whisper to his ear. Shackles fall and dreams take flight. In the dark you found your light. A rebel's fire burns within. The stories where heroes begin. Spartacus, this is your son. He's free as the day begun. Our child will speak your name so clear, and I'll whisper to his ear. Through the ages we'll remember flames that sparked in cold December. In his veins your courage flows. Defiance in your blood shows. Spartacus, this is your son. He's free as the day begun. Our child will speak your name so clear, and I'll whisper to his ear.
All right. Well, I think the movie that had the biggest impact on me in my life, well, there were two films. Number one was when I first saw Star Wars. I saw it in 1977, the opening day at Grauman's Chinese, and in the movie The Wild Bunch, which I saw in 1979. I was 9 years old. I saw that and Cross of Iron. And as a 9-year-old, seeing something that most kids would not be able to see, and the action that was in The Wild Bunch, the way they framed it, and the violence was something so unique and new to me that it really placed an impact on me. And Joe, do you have any films or film that like just resonated to you as a kid that may not? And by the way, those films don't have the same. I mean, they don't.
Yeah, there were a lot of movies I saw too. I kind of had a filterless home, and scenes from movies like the critical scenes of the deer hunter, and I remember going to the theater and watching The Elephant Man, and probably some other ones. I didn't really get into the classics until way later, but when I was a kid, The Exorcist was definitely one that impacted me, that I really, really like even to this day, just because I see it so differently now.
Yeah.
And
I saw that. Yeah,
that
I
you
saw that around 13 years old, and it scared the even at 13, it scared. And I was a jaded 13-year-old. I'd seen The Wild Bunch. I'd seen Cross of Iron. I'd seen Taxi Driver. But The Exorcist, man, it put a scare on this 13-year-old.
Midnight
jaded.
Express and Midnight Cowboy both also had big impacts when I was really young.
Midnight Cowboy had an impact on me when I got older. When I first saw it, I thought it was X-rated, and I was seeing it on some cable channel, and I thought that I was going to see some hot and heavy sexual situations, and it disappointed me. And then as I grew older, the film really kind of grew on me. And as a person who has looked at film history, it's a very unique film, the storytelling within itself, because even the way they deal with death at the end of the film, it's dealt in a way that is very unique. And they don't even deal with death. I don't see films even today deal with death in the same way that Midnight Cowboy dealt with death. It was just really raw and real. And it basically, it showed, man, like how important sometimes friendship is when you have nothing left. I mean, like, and also the transformation of Joe Buck, and you really saw him grow at the end of the film, because he had a lot of delusions, and he stopped having those delusions once life hit him, and that is really unique. And I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, where you see that kind of transformation. Joey, have you ever witnessed, or do you understand what I'm getting at and talking about with regards to the movie Midnight Cowboy?
Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, that didn't hit me until I saw it the second time. When I was a little bit older. When I was young, I didn't quite get it. I just saw again the shocking scenes, and and Taxi Driver, the same thing. Didn't really get it at the time, but it made enough of an impact on my young brain to me want to explore it later with my older brain. And I still find a lot of value in those movies for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, sometimes you only you only hit gold so many times, and it's just a rarity that kind of thing happens. Joey, I'm gonna play us out, and then I'm gonna play another song, and then I think we'll wrap this puppy up. And this one, I just put this one out there. This one is called Rosebud. Some say it's the greatest film of all time. This is from Citizen Kane. Did not win Oscar for Best Picture, but some dude and a couple of guys dubbed it the greatest movie of all time. I respectfully and violently disagree, but here it goes.
Charles Foster Kane, he was a name. Richest man, but oh so lame. From poor to gold, wealth untold, heart of stone, sled of pain. Taken young, parents gone, wealthy life, but all alone. Rosebud sled, his only friend, symbol of pain till the end. Rosebud, Rosebud, call his name, echoes through the halls of fame. Rich in gold, but poor in soul, empty heart takes its toll. Palaces and diamond rings couldn't fill the void it brings. Love he sought but never gained, left with wealth but heart remains. Palaces and diamond rings couldn't fill the void it brings. Love he sought but never gained, left with wealth but heart remains. Snow it falls on distant paths, memories that fade so fast. Rosebud whispers through the years, brings a flood of silent tears. Shadows cast, Rosebud there in final grasp. Not the man, but what he lost. Heart of snow and heavy cost. The heart of snow and heavy cost.
Well, we have our biggest fan out here making comments. Basically, he watches his show to hate it, and I guess seems like a waste of time. If I hated something, I mean, unless they're taking something away from me. But you know what? Do what you want. Joey, do you remember when you first saw Star Wars and you told me you had an earache and how great that film was and it almost healed you from your earache and your butt ache? Are you even around?
Pretty much every song you've made makes my ass hurt.
Well, I'm trying to heal your hemorrhoids. What can I tell you? You know, it's been a long night, and I'm still suffering a little bit from a cold, and the Oscars are tomorrow. The people have gotten much worse, much more awful. The people in Hollywood are really bad, and they, like I said, Hollywood's always made films from its point, from who's ever in control point of view. And it's about conquest. It's not about debate or discussion. Back in the day, John Wayne, the cavalry came and were the good guys. Now they're a lot of times the enemies, and we got to feel sorry. And the biggest one that I think, to me, the biggest film lie or film distortion, movies distortion out there are the movies that deal with the Hollywood blacklist. At least from my understanding.
I'm going to go with just how the West was won mythos. I think for my $1.50 in this, it's all a bunch of nonsense, but it seemed like those directors like John Ford and so on just saw a little further than most people could see, and made films that kind of gave us our perspective. Stanley Kubrick did the same, but for outer space with 2001. He basically told us what to think, and it's taught, and it's trickled so deep into our thought processes on space. It's crazy. That's just my cynical look.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm cynical of all things. Right now, the power grabs are the sanctimonious, probably silver spooned buttholes who control now. And they don't want to have a conversation with you. They are the most moral authoritarian people out there. And I would just as soon wipe my boogers than be around them. What am I going to play to end this out? What am I going to do? Another Oscar. Let's see here. I'm going to do the Ballad of Randall Patrick McMurphy. This was a Best Picture, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And after the song is ended, I'm going to call it a day. This song is from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Let's play this puppy.
Randall fought in a far-off war, lost his mind to the battleground's roar, caught a cage and then the cell, a mind like fire behind that jail. Cut him to pieces of his soul, but he came back like burning coal. In the war he met the silent crew, nursed his rule, a bitter brew. He soared over the cuckoo's nest, took a chance when chances rest. Not a man to be kept down, he's the king, no crown, no crown. Freedom called him wild and rough, he played the game, he played enough. Inside bars, but his mind's free. Randall's laughter like the sea. Electric currents and control pills tried to break his iron will, but McMurphy, stormy sky, burned too bright to simply die. He soared over the cuckoo's nest, took a chance when chances rest. Not a man to be kept down, he's the king, no crown, no He soared over the cuckoo's nest, took a chance when chances rest. Not a man to be kept down, he's the king, no crown, no
Oh, that hurt.
There we go. Anything to add before I end this puppy out?
I think we are done. Thank you all for listening. I see a few others. Only one commenter. Not bad.
There we go.
Jump in. All right. That's it for me, though. I think
I'll play a song about what I might be doing for this show. This song is called Mea Culpa, and it's what these filmmakers and producers may one day have to do of the nonsense that they spewed.
Old man kneels down low, says these words real slow. Mea culpa, I know. Fault I can't let go. May my errors show. Deeds I can't bestow. Grievous fault will grow. Burden truth I owe. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Through the tears I see ya. Take the blame with no pausing. Through my trials I tread. Guilty thoughts in my head. Prayers that I have said haunt me till I'm dead. May my fault ring clear. No defense to cheer. Grievous faults I bear. Speaking truth sincere. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Through the tears I see ya. Take the blame with no pausing. Ooh. Through my trials I tread. Guilty thoughts in my head. Prayers that I have said hold me till I'm dead. May my fault ring clear. No defense to cheer. Grievous fault I bear. Speaking truth sincere. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Through the tears I see ya. Take the blame with no pausing. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Through the tears I see ya. Take the blame with no pausing. Ooh, my heart break clear. No defense to cheer. Ooh, grievous fault I bear. Speaking truth sincere. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
Well, that's the end of it. Hey guys, the Oscars are tomorrow. Let's see the last yes. And go to hell, Wilfred Brimley's Rabbit. Thank you for listening. Goodbye, everybody.
Excellent comment.